On the morning of September 11th, 2001, Americans awoke to the worst terrorist attack ever perpetrated against innocent civilians in their country's history. The devastating attacks against the World Trade Towers in New York and the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. stunned the nation along with much of the world. President Bush immediately declared an all-out war against terrorism. Soon, highly trained pilots, special forces operatives, and ground offensives began the systematic elimination of Taliban and al-Qaeda operations in Afghanistan. However, simultaneously, another war was quietly gathering momentum behind the scenes within America. It was a war against our own precious civil liberties, and the perpetrators were not some Islamic suicide zealots, but members of our own U.S. political system. In the wake of the September 11 attacks, a number of anti-terrorism bills were passed and signed into law. Although ostensibly designed to protect us from foreign invaders, they in fact gave the government unprecedented power over its own citizenry. For example, government officials may now authorize the use of wiretaps against anyone without having to demonstrate probable cause of any criminal activity. Government officials may now monitor the internet activity of anyone without again having to demonstrate probable cause. The FBI has developed an undetectable eavesdropping software that can be covertly installed via the internet on anyone's home computer. All emails, chat room activities, and website visitations can be recorded. The FBI can now compel business owners to turn over the records of any employee without having to show evidence of a crime. All federal and foreign intelligence services can now closely monitor all financial transactions of anyone without having to notify that person that their records are being reviewed. Government officials can now conduct secret searches of anyone's home or business without their knowledge, even if no allegations of terrorism are involved. Of course, all of these violations of freedom are clearly unconstitutional, yet they remain unchallenged within our judicial system. And although we may not see the widespread use of these laws against American citizens anytime soon, the stage is being set for a future period when the Bible predicts such laws will be used against those who fail to go along with the agenda of the New World Order. As the new millennium continues to unfold, we also see a drive to unite the world as never before, politically, financially, and religiously. Following the September 11 attacks, a number of prayer services were held across America, including this Prayer for America rally in New York. In an unprecedented show of unity, members of varying religious faiths, including Muslims, Protestants, Catholics, and Jews, all claim to worship the same God. It is the uniting of the world into one faith which the Bible predicts is just one of the many signs indicating we may be entering the period on earth known as the last days.
Today, many of Earth's more than 6 billion inhabitants are justifiably concerned about their future. We are surrounded by senseless killings, crime, terrorism, out-of-control diseases, ethnic hostilities, and the ever-present fear of a nuclear holocaust. In seeking solutions, some believe that global unity under a world government is the answer, while others pray for some type of spiritual awakening which would unite all religions. Many cling to the hope that the 21st century brings a golden age of peace and prosperity, where scientific advancements in technology and medicine might conceivably transform the world into a modern paradise. In attempting to predict the future, famous psychics such as Nostradamus, Edgar Cayce, and Jean Dixon have shown themselves to be at least partially accurate. which has encouraged thousands to put their faith in them and pursue similar occultic methods of divination. Today, in record number, people are consulting psychics, fortune tellers, and spiritual mediums of all varieties to find out just what lies ahead. With all the psychic sources available, why do serious seekers still rely on the ancient prophecies of the Bible? Its unparalleled 100% accuracy rate may be one reason. Its claim to be the very Word of God may be another. Yet its writings are so old. Are there any valid reasons to believe they hold any relevance for today's turbulent times?
I take the Bible seriously because these 66 books, written by 40 authors over thousands of years, are an integrated message system that has its origin from outside our time domain, and it proves that by describing history before it happens. And there are many examples of that throughout history. But today, we see it happening before our very eyes.
The prophetic word is God's sure expression of the calendar of history, and it's the only real way to foresee the future or to understand today's events, far different from the superficial interpretation we get from the news and from pseudo-intellectuals who want to tell us their own theories about it.
Of all the books in the world, the Bible is most dependent upon prophecy, because the first writing prophet, Moses, said in Deuteronomy chapter 18 that there would be other prophets like him, and the only way they would be able to tell whether they were truly from the Lord and speaking the Lord's word or not is whether the prophecies they made came true 100%.
Imagine any person claiming to be a prophet of God who delivered a message which did not come true was executed on the spot. Anyone could predict events in the far distant future, and there would be no way to verify them. Yet biblical prophets were always tested by the accuracy of their detailed short-term prophecies first. If those came true, only then were their long-term prophecies considered authoritative messages from God and included in the Bible.
About a third of the Bible was prophetic when written in some way or another. And of all of that prophetic content, about 4/5 of prophecy in the Bible has already been fulfilled, and it gives us a model by which we can expect to interpret that final fifth that isn't fulfilled, because it was all literally fulfilled in history.
I believe the Bible does contain a warning to the human race, and I believe that human history is in its final quarter. There are only a few seconds of intense activity left before time runs out. When we look around on a beautiful day like today and we see the glory of God's creation, it's easy to think that things are going to continue forever, just getting better and better. But unfortunately, that's not what the Bible teaches.
Sections of the Bible known as Daniel, Ezekiel, Joel, Matthew, Revelation, and others describe in great detail 3 major time periods yet to occur. The first is a terrible 7-year period of destruction, the likes of which the world has never seen, commonly known as the Tribulation. This is immediately followed by the Millennium,